Hello and welcome to MGAM TV. On this week's show,
Time when you only held me in my mind, just a longing, gone without. We have to get.
okay, we're back and we're doing the movies. A piece of paper here, and it's just us two because John is on his honeymoon.
Still.
He is still on his honeymoon. He was on his honeymoon last week. He's on his honeymoon this week, but he will be back because we're going to review Partridge for next up.
Yep.
So we had to leave that one, didn't we?
Yep.
And that's why we did World's End last week, and then this week we have The Conjuring. Ba-da!
Ooh,
But it's got no magic
scary.
in. Yeah, it's a scary film directed by James Wan, who is a massive, I was going to say a fan of mine. He's a massive fan of mine. I'm a massive fan of his. Great stuff. If you go and just go on his IMDb and see what he's been up to, it's Saw 1, Saw 2, Dead Silence, Insidious, and then now Conjuring, and then Insidious 2, which is out quite soon. What did you think?
It was alright.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good horror film. Horror film? Was it a horror film? No, more like a thriller. Scary.
It was.
Thriller. It wasn't like horror as in like.
No. It's more of a supernaturally
monsters.
jumpy horror, which he's
Yeah.
very good at doing.
The only thing that I felt is that it wasn't that jumpy. I mean, when I jumped, I did like massively jump, but I wasn't all the way through going like I was for Insidious. Insidious, God, I was awful for that one. But this one, it just felt like you've seen the storyline before. It's the same sort of haunted house, and
It's quite generic.
shut up. Yeah, it is quite generic. But you have seen it before: possession, ghosts, haunted house sort of thing. Let's do an exorcism to get rid of it, and it follows what you expect from those sort of supernatural thriller films. But it was still good. The only thing that I didn't like was there's a doll in it, and I hate dolls. They scare the living poop
The
out
doll's
of
on the bus. There's dolls on the bus. The doll is on the side of a bus for the adverts and other bits and pieces. So.
But I absolutely.
But the
hate
doll
dolls,
wasn't in it at all, really.
It was though.
It wasn't.
But
there was no point to the doll.
Yeah, there was no point to it, which annoyed me
like,
even more.
Oh, we got a cracker here. I love a good doll.
Because the thing is, it was deliberately put in there to just add another scary element to it. And for me, it really did, because I really have a massive phobia of dolls.
Yeah.
But if there was no need for that, then they shouldn't have put it in, because I would have enjoyed the film a lot more if that didn't happen.
If you didn't have a doll.
Yeah.
But it scared you.
Yeah, but not in a nice way.
Yeah, but isn't that a good thing sometimes with films, or
No.
about hand puppets? Like hand puppets?
No, not really. I don't like anything like that.
Fair enough.
Automatonophobia.
Automatonophobia. That's what we're watching next week. But this week we're doing Conjuring. It was based on a true story, which I didn't care about.
To what length was it based on a true story?
Oh yeah, based on a true story. The fact that the address was the same on the house number. But no, it was quite cool. They showed you at the end some sort of snippets of newspaper clippings and stuff like that, which was great. For James Wan, he's awesome, and he did the thing at the start where it all goes really creepy. They show you the first scare, which has got bugger all to do with the storyline. It's just there to get you going, and then it screams really loud, and the Conjuring comes up in this sort of 1980s type, like Exorcist type font.
It was very similar to Exorcist.
Yeah, I thought, I'm in here, you know what I mean, cracking. I mean, it was based in the 1970s, wasn't it? Or late 70s, I think. 70s.
I thought it was
Early or late 70s. It was based in the 70s. Shows how much we paid attention to the date. But they had flares on, I think. So yeah, it was good. I think the storyline was okay. It was about these two paranormal people who go and investigate a house because it literally is kicking
Ghost
off.
Hunter kind of.
But it's good. It is kicking off. It's not one of them films where you go in and they go, "Is it really happening? Is it really happening? I think you're telling lies. You're wasting our time." They go in there and this woman's going all the way around the lounge.
Because she's a
by her
what's
hair.
it called? Medium? Not a medium.
She's a medium, yeah.
Clairvoyant. Apparently,
Is that her name? So she's called Clairvoyant, and she talks to dead people. Yeah, she can see things, but as soon as she goes in the house, it's the shit's on, and that's what I thought was great because
sounds like a dog.
The shit's on. The shit's on. The shit hits the fan, and they have to go and live there for a couple of days to check it all out, and then they perform an exorcism and stuff like that, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it is good.
Yeah, one thing that really took it away from me as well, though, was the male ghost hunter. He plays the main character in Insidious, and all the way through I was just like, am I watching Insidious? Am I watching a different film? Like, I couldn't work it out because the storylines are quite similar in terms of possession.
They are similar.
Scary, and it's James Wan again. Like, it's all, the directions are the same, and it felt very similar, but not as good.
Yeah, but I think the reason that it's not as good because it's a true story and it's difficult to go too mental with it, whereas obviously Insidious you can just literally, you've got free reign to do whatever you want.
That's true.
Obviously that's some, even though they obviously go a little bit where they want to with the true story because it's based, but they obviously got this boundary that they need to keep within it. The only thing that really annoyed me, and there was a reason why I had to mark it down, really grinds my gears, was the fact that they were screaming. There was a guy and he's looking for the daughter and she's under the floorboards and he's literally going, "Where are you? Where are you?" Sneakily whispering, "Where are you? Where are you?" Then the shot would go to the next shot, which is in the basement. What? That much of wood probably between the two floors. And the woman's screaming her head off. They're all holding her down. They're all shouting. The one guy's doing an exorcism. It's all kicking off. A shotgun goes off. This, that and the other. And then it goes back to this guy in the kitchen and he's going, "Where are you?" And it's really quiet. And you're like, that it wouldn't be like that. I think for his directorial skills are great. But that just, I was like, that's just me kind of going. Pet peeve. Going, hang on, these aren't connecting these two scenes. Surely they'd know. You'd hear them in both rooms. There was so much action going on in the basement. But then
as soon as he said where this kid was, they heard him in the basement, didn't they?
Yeah, she goes, "Oh yeah, she's under the floorboards," and then the woman who's possessed, won't spoil it too much, the woman who's possessed goes after her straight away and hears that, and you're like, well, you wouldn't hear...
Works one way, not the other. It was a bit...
Two-way floor.
Yeah.
Like a two-way mirror, but it was a two-way floor. Yeah, so... Let's score it, I think.
Yeah, I gave it 70 because it was enjoyable to an extent. My enjoyment kind of was dampened in terms of it felt like a lot of other supernatural thrillers.
It did. I agree
Not
with
much
that.
originality in terms of that. And having the same actor from Insidious kind of confused me. I know that's a really stupid thing to say, but it did kind of...
You liked the lead role, didn't you? I thought she's great.
Yeah, she's amazing. I can't remember her name for the life of me.
I should have it on here, but it's off.
But yeah, I think she's...
I'm just holding it for the advert.
I think she's a great actress, and I think she can put herself to...
She was very good, very good. And I think the kids were good, because usually you have to watch it with kids.
Child actors are usually a bit...
You have to watch out for the kids. They'd sometimes shit and just ruin it because they can't act for toffee. But these were quite good. The whole family was great as a unit. It felt brilliant, and they're doing all the hide and seek thing, and it was really creepy. The thing is, you do that, and I can sync the sound up because it's like a clap. It's a film thing. Yeah, so I gave it 79. Obviously, it's based on a true story, but they couldn't extend it anymore. Then, obviously, I kind of lost a bit of interest with it. Yeah. But in terms of being a sort of scary and gripping and all that sort of stuff, it was great. There was a few elements missing, which I would have filled in myself if I were to make a horror film. But again, it's based on a true story, so
it does kind of limit what you can do.
79 is not too bad. So yeah, that gives us a total final MGAM score of 75, which clips straight into...
Just a silver, isn't it?
Just into silver, yeah. So I think, yeah, in terms of horror films, or supernatural thrillers, as you called it, based on a true story, apart from, I think, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I can't really think of any other real ones that stand out. I think this is a good one. This is a good, true...
It's not a bad film.
Story horror type film. Yeah. So, Conjuring?